What's up, everybody? This is now episode 3 of Comp Let Loose. I'm Winters. I'm joined with TaskForce from Berserk, Major 24 from 101A, and everyone's favorite Adrenaline from SOB. So, with this episode, we're going to be covering the Week 1 matchups from TFL, kind of go over the reactions of how the teams did, any surprises from the week, and then we'll go over the Week 2 matchups, kind of talk about the teams that we think can outperform, hopefully perform up to expectation, and just talk about TFL in general, how the competition's been. And then we'll dive a little bit into some questions I have for Berserk 101A and SOB. So we're going to start with the questions I have, because this is something that I've been curious of since the first episode when I talked to Hog from Berserk. But Task Force, I know you guys have been kind of undergoing a little bit of a rebuild in Berserk that I think caught a lot of people off guard. So would you like to comment on like kind of how that rebuild process is going and like the morale that's in Berserk right now?
Yeah, absolutely. I think we've kept a lot of our same, not the same people, obviously. A bunch of people departed on their and went different ways, but we have a lot of our older guys that still stayed, myself included. I actually came back. I quit playing last August, and I came back as soon as I saw what was going on. But spirits are high, man. We've really been recruiting hardcore. We've got a lot of good players coming in, and we're trying to get back to that point where we're able to start scrimming and try to gain that ground back to try to get back to doing more comp-related stuff. But we are focusing directly on comp things and trying to stay in that lane.
Yeah, so what would you guys say has like been your like points of focus within this rebuild process? Is it like mass recruiting from blueberry lobbies, trying to build up the people that have stuck behind? Like, how's like the outlook of Berserk right now? Like, what is the goal that you guys are trying to reach?
Yeah, I think that we kept a really good, like I said, a good core of guys, and we have mostly been focusing on blueberry lobbies because we don't really want to poach anybody. We just felt like that wasn't the right way to go. And so if people have been interested in jumping over, of course we would never say we wouldn't take somebody if they wanted to do that. But most of it's been blueberries, and we've been chasing, I think, the armor train. I think that tanks are such a prevalent thing in this game, and so we've been focusing heavily on that side of it.
Yeah. Are you guys still enrolled in Summit and TPO?
Yes. We currently, I think we're waiting to see if we can get back to where we wanted to be to fully like start getting involved in for sure TPL. And I think it's just a matter of making sure we've got the numbers and the people, and we're ready to get to that point once that window closes for us to actually be able to register, basically.
Yeah, that's what I was going to get at is the plan right now still to compete in those leagues?
Absolutely. I think that's absolutely what we're looking to do.
Good. All right, 24, we're going to move on to you. Oh, go ahead, Adrenaline, what's up?
I just had a quick follow-up question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Everybody knows the name Berserk. I'm just curious, with the rebuild, having the name, having the clout you guys have and everything like that, has it been a little easier getting guys to come to you again, or is it like you're a whole new clan now? I'm just curious because SOB is brand new, so like we don't really have any like, oh yeah, we did this, that, like has it been easier, you think, or just starting fresh?
I think if we're looking at like social media stuff, I do think having the establishment that we already have as a clan has definitely made it a little easier. Because for people that are decent in the game and want to look somewhere to go, if you've at least as a clan competed at a high level already, some people usually try to attach to that. As far as blueberry lobbies go and stuff like that, in game we don't really. I don't think people normally just like grab like, oh crap, those berserk, those guys are do this or that. So I don't know if that's necessarily helped us there, but I do think it has assisted us quite a bit in driving, at least to, like I said, on social media and those other outlets, trying to get people at least have kept up with the comp scene at all.
Yeah, I've seen some of the Facebook posts, people posting like, oh shit, Berserk, So I was just curious on that front.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so moving on to you, 24. So I personally don't know all that much about 101A, and it's not because, you guys don't have, like, or I guess it's not that you guys haven't like built a name for yourselves, because obviously you have. I know I took quite a decent break from the game, probably from January to like like May or June. So for some of the people in the crowd that may not know much about 101A, kind of walk me through like how the group started, what brought you to 101A, and I don't know, yeah, just fill us in on how your group is and how it started and everything like that.
Yeah, so it started before me, but I'm one of the last of the original crew, I guess you could say, since I've been there. There's like 4 or 5 other guys that were there kind of before me that are still there, but the owners, the people who created it, they're now gone. So one of them was just inactive. He never really played. I think there was like, don't quote me on this, but I think there was like 2 or 3 guys that actually created it together, and I believe they came from, I forgot what clan they came from. They broke off from somebody to create the 101A, and this was a while back. So anyway, so when our leader left a month ago or 2 months ago or however long ago that was, we just revamped the whole thing. So like we're kind of really just starting over, man, and we're trying to build a good reputation for ourselves. Stay away from the trash talk bullshit. We come to play and have fun, man. So I know a lot of people don't like us and they got a bad taste about us, but we come with respect every time, brother. So
So what makes you say that people don't like you guys?
well, I mean, you really want to get down into the nitty gritty, I could get down there, bro.
Yeah, that's what this show's for, bro.
Okay, so our leader decided to go to. First, he told us that he was leaving because he can't see stepping down as a leader of the clan and being regular infantry. So he decides that instead of doing that, he would rather just leave. So he leaves and joins 4AD for one day or an hour or two, and then he leaves 4AD and goes to the 7th. Well, when you go to the 7th, you already know.
Yeah.
I don't want to get too deep into it, but we were on good terms. Like I told my guys, bro, like don't talk shit to him. And all my guys didn't, dude. We were all cool. Like, hey, he's moving on. We're gonna keep it kosher. Nobody, and then the shit talking started, bro, and it just fucking spiraled from there. And when a team like the 7th dislikes your clan, every other clan fucking rides the coattail, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so we got stuck in that situation. But it's all good, bro, because you know what? We just keep hustling, bro. We keep moving on. It doesn't bother us, trust me. If anything, it makes us fucking popular, bro.
Yeah, that's what's up. So just some of the reactions I'm getting from the chat so far is spit that shit, my boy 24 in the cut.
Gang, gang, baby.
So 2-4. I don't know if it's a question or more of a comment, but like, yeah, your situation's a little bit different in 101A. Like, you had your leader, and he was, active and built it up, and then he left and went to another community, which is, I feel kind of unusual. Usually, if you create a community, you usually stay with it, and then if it falls apart, you move on, or you retire and you kind of help out. But he just went to a rival community and has been, it hasn't been the best of terms from what I could tell. That I don't know if it's really a question, but I just find that kind of fascinating, really, to be honest.
Well, to be honest with you, bro, it blindsided us, everybody. We all got blindsided by it. Like, there's people that come and go. You guys know this. People come and go all the time, bro. You could have a guy that goes and grinds on Discord. He gets your fucking this sector, whether it's your armor sector or your fucking recon sector. I mean, he grinds away, bro, sets up fucking strats, all kinds of shit, and the guy's gone in 2 months. You know what I mean? But this guy I did not see leaving, bro. And out of respect for him, he did a lot of work. He did build this fucking thing. You know what I mean? And it sucks that for someone to take off like that. But at the same time, bro, it's like, I can't let the boys down, bro. And out of respect for him, he gave me ownership. He could have shut the whole fucking thing down. Mm-hmm. Okay, so I got somewhat respect for the guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, that is cool. Yeah,
because
see
he
where
could
you
have
guys
just
are at
fucking
after
pressed
that, also.
delete, bro, and then and fucked us all, you know. So it's bittersweet, bro. It really is. We used to scrim the seventh here and there because this person set it up. Our leader set it up with scrims with the seventh. They kicked our ass, bro. But that's fine. You got to get your ass kicked here and there. And but as soon as he left over there, we didn't want to scrim him no more. Like, why would we scrim him, bro? Just to give him his satisfaction of kicking our ass? We already know they were kicking our ass. You know what I mean? I'm not bringing down my morale. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So speaking of scrimming, and then we'll get over to you, Adrenaline. Obviously, like when you're scrimming a team, you'd want to play, the best the best there is. So, like obviously, you wouldn't want to scrim down because you're not really learning much. So, you either want to scrim at your level or go against teams that are above you. But yes, there's good takeaways from playing teams that are better than you because you can work on some things. They are very good at finding holes like in your game plan and your defense. But do you ever see like where scrimming a team like the 7th or the 6th or HLLE, WRTB teams like that where it can actually hurt your morale scrimming them and then you just get your shit kicked in?
I'll go first.
Yeah, go ahead.
100%, man. It really can. I forget who we played in 508. We played some, monster clan. It was just a normal scrim or whatever like that, and people left afterwards. Especially if you you hit it on the head. The scrimming is important to have teams that are on par with you, and like it's a good battle, or a little above you. But like if you, I remember we'd won a couple matches in a row of like teams that we should have beaten, like that were good battles, and then we played like I can't remember who it was. It slipped in my mind, and we got rolled, and it was just like a shit show afterwards. So it does backfire, and I give Plum a lot of credit. I remember at one point I think it was after the Berserk match. A lot of the higher clans were asking us to scrim, and he was kind of like, let's pump the brakes because previously it backfired. Like you're on a high cloud, and then all that. I mean, I'm a firm believer in sometimes you got to get taken down a couple notches, but you don't want it to the point where people are leaving or just like fuck this, that was terrible, I don't want to be here, which I've seen. So
yeah, Adrenaline. Just to let you know, people are saying your mic is quiet.
Oh shit. Okay, let me see what I can do.
Yeah, Goat Piss said turn your mic up or he's docking points. So TaskForce, what do you think about that? Like what I was saying about scrimming teams. Have you seen it at least personally with Berserk where scrimming a team could potentially hurt your morale?
I actually think it kind of does hurt you a little bit sometimes, just because, like, especially for instance now, like we're trying to rebuild and we want to start scrimming, but we're concerned that maybe it's too early. Who knows, right? And you don't want to deflate something when you're building it up or otherwise. And I think that we used to scrim teams all the time. I mean, we had weekly scrims with multiple teams that we just tried our best to play, and some teams were better than us, and we lost, and we learned, and some teams were still on the up and up, and they were taking the opportunity to play against us and get better. So there is some positive in it, but I mean, if you're just getting your butts kicked, it just doesn't seem like it's that fun, and that's when you start seeing a lot of that fighting and people arguing with each other. I think it really starts coming from that kind of stuff.
Yeah. What about you, 24? Do you agree?
Yeah, no. Gentle reached out to me a while back, and he told me, he said, man, you want to establish like a little brother and a big brother. And, that's kind of like a team that you could beat and a team that you're struggling to beat. And we kind of we haven't really got into it because the schedule's been so busy, but that's something that we plan on doing. 4AD, we got a good relationship with them, and we struggle to beat them. So they're kind of like our big brother. We keep a good relationship with them, and we plan on scrimming them some more here.
Yeah. So how long has 101A been around?
So I've been in the clan for a little over a year now, and I think it started maybe like 4 months before I got there.
Mm-hmm.
When I got there, the leadership, they were like level, I think the main leader, he was like level 65 or 70, and I came in at a level 200. I got dragged in it, bro. I was anti-clan, like for a whole year of playing the game. I would not join the clan.
Why is that?
I never got into it. I'm a little bit on the older side, bro. I'm pushing 40, and the whole Discord thing, and I never went down that rabbit hole, bro. I never really was a huge gamer until this fucking game came out, and I don't know. I played with Echo Foxtrot one game. They brought me in as like a fill, and I wasn't really feeling it. It was only one game. I didn't join their Discord, but people were mad because I had the clan tag on and I didn't deserve it. And then they were fighting in fucking command chat and shit. So, I mean, I just had like a bad taste about it, bro, and I didn't want to do it.
So what finally convinced you, and because I know you said you got drug into it, what finally convinced you, and then why have you stuck around since then?
Okay, so one of my buddies, like at the time I didn't know him, but our recon guy, Reaper, he came up to me in a pub game, and he's like, "Hey, man, you're a fucking high level. You know what you're doing. Why don't you come join the 101?" And I'm like, "Nah, bro. Like, I've been asked to join other clans before. It's just not for me. It's not something I want to commit my time and energy to. Like, I'm good." And he's like, next day comes around, he hits me up again. "Hey, bro, what are you doing? Let's fucking run a game." And the dude was just super cool, bro, and he didn't have no give in him. And I'm like, "Fuck, Reap, you're going to make... fuck it. Okay, I'm with you, dude." And that's one of the original guys that's still there with me to this day, man. That's my boy, man, Reaper. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So that kind of drugged me into it, man. And I went from not wanting leadership to fucking just falling into being the owner of the clan. I am not the highest ranked guy in the clan. There's a guy that's above me, but I'm kind of like a peacekeeper. And I eventually want to step down. I'm staying in the clan and everything like that, but I don't want as much responsibility. I want to kind of like kick back and play now,
Yeah. So, I guess another question I have for you is, I'm assuming you were a pretty high level. You said you were around like 200s when you joined?
Yeah.
So, what's the biggest difference you've noticed between playing 200 levels of Blueberry Lobbies to your first comp game?
Oh, big time difference, man. I mean, it's night and day, dude.
Yeah. I mean, that was my biggest thing was when I first started playing the game, I thought, Blueberry Lobbies was all, and I've said this on previous episodes, but thinking that Blueberry Lobbies was all Hell Let Loose had to offer, and then once I got into the comp scene, I'm like, holy shit, like this game is completely different.
I thought I was good until I played in the comp game.
Now, I want to comment, how's my mic? Is it better? I put the volume up, so
it's a little bit better.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. That's the funny thing that you just commented on. You see all those posts about people like, fuck clans and this and that, man. Like, it's a totally different game when you get involved in the whole community aspect and do all that and everything. And then, being a newer clan, we've picked up a lot of newer guys, and I'm like, listen, be ready. This is not a Blueberry match. You're not just gonna go cap the third point and hang out and even any organized clan you play, doesn't matter who it is or how many it is, it's a lot different. And I remember our first night in SOB when we had like a bunch of guys. They're like, "Wow, this is a lot different. Like it's addicting."
Yeah, we actually have to build nodes. Like holy shit.
It's
go ahead.
I was gonna say I remember when I started playing the game, I was trying to find Squad on Xbox, and that's how I actually got into Squad. And I saw these Milsim clans and stuff all over the place, and they're all yelling at each other in the game, and I'm like, I did that in real life. I'm not interested in this shit in a video game.
Yeah.
And so it wasn't until I was actually a Blueberry in a clan match that I even realized what was happening, and they didn't kick me out somehow. I don't know how I ended up staying in the game the whole time. But then somebody was trying to tell me, like, "Hey, is this a comp match, man?" I was like, "No, that's why people are actually good. That makes sense." And I was like, "I didn't know there's a competitive scene for this game, And so then that's kind of what led me on my journey to find a clan to join and to start enjoying that part of the game.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty big misconception that people, like, in the Hell Let Loose Facebook are either too ignorant to understand or, like, just haven't had the opportunity to realize it, but I mean, you guys have all seen the posts like, "Oh, fuck clans, like, why are you kicking me in the middle of a game, blah, blah, blah." It's like, I mean, sucks to suck. It's the nature of the beast. We don't have the server browsers yet, and I know they're coming, but I'm sure they're gonna find a way to fuck that up, and it's gonna be broken, just like everything else that they do. I mean, it's the first update that isn't gonna be, a stupid helmet or something. It's like actually gonna be something big for the game. So I know that there's gonna be something wrong with it, but hopefully that shuts people up a little bit.
Yeah, and I mean, like, there's so many posts about it. Most of the good clans try not to do it until they have to, or it's out of hand. Like, you think we're doing it purposely to just piss everybody off so that way you go on Facebook and bash everyone? Like,
Yeah.
it's last resort for most of the time, you know?
Yeah, and like also I don't understand like what they're hoping to accomplish, because they're like, oh, like these clans suck. They kicked me from a game. Well, guess what? Next Saturday I'm doing the same fucking thing. So,
Oh, wow.
I mean, do you guys remember how hard it was to clear a lobby for a comp game before there was vote to kick?
Bro, I might have told this story the first time, and I'm sorry if I did, but our very first fucking comp match ever for 508, we had 49 guys in, or we got everyone in. People were leaving, no problems before the vote to kick. We had one guy who stayed. What the fuck was his name? It was like Abdul.
Can you imagine if it was Loka?
Abdul Mustafa. That's Abdul Mustafa, bro.
And the problem was he wasn't even team killing. What he was doing was he was taking the tanks and he would drive them so you couldn't get them. He was taking our nodes down. He was just doing everything to sabotage us. And it was just one guy, and we couldn't get rid of him. Oh my god, it was the most frustrating thing ever. Our first ever comp match in Summit.
So I will say, so I have two things. One about like the worst people to have in a game that you can't get rid of is, you guys remember Loka? Dude, hated that guy. Hated him. But besides that, you brought up taking vehicles and like putting them in places that you can't get to. So I will admit, I didn't do this during a comp game, but I did it in plenty of other games. I used to do that, but I did it for a reason. I did it for a very good reason. So it was around the time that, and now looking back on it, it's like I just wasted like 3 hours of my life because the flamethrower sucks, in my opinion. But it was when the flamethrower came out and my support was like level 4. Well, I realized that, like, you know how for engineer you can build nodes, and I don't know if they patched this or not, but you could build nodes and then swap to another class, and like, like the XP from however long the nodes stay up will like slowly accumulate. Well, if you swap to another class, the XP will count for that class you swap to.
Yep.
Well, what I did was I would build a repair station. Like, I would build my node, so I would contribute a little bit, but I would build a repair station on the edge of the map, and then I would start taking vehicles and driving them out of bounds, but still within proximity of the repair station. So when the vehicles would deteriorate from being out of bounds, but then the repair station would constantly be repairing it. So like, I mean, fuck, dude, you look to the edge of the map, you got a Lux, you got 2 supply trucks, you got a fucking transport truck out there. I got so bold, I took like a Panther out there too, or like a 76 or something. Dude, I was a little hoe for my XP just to get the flamethrower, and now I never use it. Like, I could have used that for like assault or something to get more grenades or whatever. But
that's actually really funny. That's actually a really funny thing to do.
But anyway, getting back on topic. So I want to go over week 1 of TFL. Let me pull up that screenshot you sent me. So we'll go over the results of week 1. We'll pick some highlights. So I want to go over, because I had Sylvia on last week, the 4AD versus 5ID match. 4AD won that game 3-2 in 90 minutes on Carentan. I wouldn't say that I'm surprised about it, but talking to Sylvia last week, 4AD is a very new group, and they're still working on a lot of stuff. So I was happy to see them pull out that 90-minute win. And Carentan's not an easy. I mean, Carentan is an easy map depending on what mid spot you get, but regardless, I mean, I was happy to see them pull out a 90-minute win.
I mean, so I don't know much about 5ID. When I did the war report, I said that I'm not too familiar with them. I know 4AD very well. They're a great bunch of dudes. The progression that they made, and especially ever since they had that upset of 3-5 that Gentle talked about, they're just consistently solid, man. You gotta bring your A game when you play against them. I don't know the full details of the match. Obviously we didn't get a VOD, and I just got bits and pieces of it from when I talked to the guys. But if you like take the match with 3-5, they made one mistake and they capitalized on it, and they were able to double cap on it. If you make a mistake against them, they will make you pay, and it's hard to get back on that. So it's good to see that they progressed that far. And like you said, yeah, they are still on the newer side and pushing it hard. But 5, I kind of thought 4AD would win. I was surprised it was a 3-2, to be honest. I'm on the other side of it. I know 5ID had lost their armor seal a little while ago and stuff, and I don't know what was going on there. But to beat 3-2 on 4AD, that's a slugfest. Good for that.
Yeah.
Good match.
What about you, TaskForce and 24? Have you guys had any interaction with either one of those groups, 4AD or 5ID?
I played with a few of them in some just random games, but I don't think I've ever engaged with them competitively.
Hmm.
Yeah,
What
we
about
scrim 4AD. I don't think we played 5ID. I got to check, but I don't remember playing 5ID. But 4AD brings their A game, man. Those guys are tough, dude.
Yeah. So, what would you say, like, because I personally haven't played 4AD even in, a scrim. So, what are some of the things, like, I guess their signatures that you've been able to, like, catch up on? Because, like, for example, Berserk, when I think of Berserk, like, in their prime, they're hitting the point hard. Just same with, in my opinion, Berserk and the 7th have, like, very similar play styles. Like, they will hit your midpoint, and, it's going to be a fight over mid 24/7, good map control, stuff like that. So, what about 4AD? Have you been able to pick up, like, on any of their, like, signatures? Are they hitting the point hard? Do they establish more map control?
I mean, they're
Probably 2-4.
okay. I was gonna say I really don't want to give away bro's secrets, man. I got a tight relationship with Sylvia, and I don't know if I should be giving away his secrets, man.
Well, I'll tell you from playing against them, they're very, very good, and this is just, it's not. I don't think I'm giving any secrets. They're very good at controlling the blue line with their infantry and their tanks.
Yeah.
So even though you think, like, you'll see infantry rolling up, like, oh, okay, just a couple hits, and all of a sudden I'm blindsided from a tank that was, to the north or south of me or whatever. I didn't even see it, and they're quick to get to areas where you think that you might be able to get into. So I don't know if I'm sure they're using OP hopping or whatever they're doing. They're just the blue line is always a battle. I always feel that I was always, like, kind of attacking, and I was always just trying to get by, get no key down, do anything. Was not the simplest, and their infantry and their tanks work very well together. And their rocket sniping is some of the best too.
Yeah,
that goes with the set.
Yeah. So, 24, you might not like this next one, but your game against the 8th, holding mid for an hour and 13 minutes. What happened?
Man, that was rough. God damn, man. Our defense, so we excel on defense, man. Our defense is fucking tough as fuck, bro. They do not give, they don't break. But I made the error, man. I've done this in another match too. I put too many guys attacking, and we should have just fucking held it down, bro. But, sometimes you got to make that gamble, man, and we always constantly keep pressure, but, I sent too many guys. We just had too many. We recovered, like, 2 times. They almost took midpoint within that 50 minutes, but we recovered right away. We kept recovering very well, bro. Multiple garrisons, multiple ways to get back on point. We made 2 great recoveries, so when we went to push on the 3rd time, like I said, we overextended and we were not able to recover. And man, that hurt, bro. That fucking hurt.
And especially on a map like Mortagne, I feel like I have only seen that. I've only personally played that map once since it's come out. I hardly ever see it in the rotation. It seems like every time I hop on the game, the first fucking map I get is Stalingrad, and I want to like myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Mortagne is our map, though, bro. 101 fucking strives on Mortagne because it's the infantry map.
yeah, it's a heavy like bushwookie map. At least my opinion was.
Yeah, my first time playing that map was Tuesday, and I'll tell you right now, I was lost for all of it.
Yeah.
I'm with 24. When we were in 508, that's when we beat the 9May, and then we beat Berserk on that in Summit. So I'm a big Mortagne fan. I mean, just to comment on your match, 24. I mean, the 8th, they obviously just won TPL Gold, I think, finals. So I mean, an hour and 13 to hold them off. That's nothing to be sad about, man. You know, you guys really needed to. So that even though it was a loss, I'm sure you guys were feeling a little bit happy after the hell of a battle. I mean, of course you're upset, but I think that sounds like there was a lot of positives out of that too.
Oh yeah, like I said, man. You know, we hold our heads high. We know we did well, and you know, I take full blame as a commander for pushing up the guys the way I did. But you know, Snow, he's cool as fuck, bro. He reached out to me and you know, he told me, he said, dude, good fucking game. You would have had it if you would have fucking basically took the bait is what I did, you know. But you know, a lot of people with the 8th, they say, oh, you know, the 101 and the 8th got a bad relationship. I mean, it's not that, bro. Me and Snow have always been solid. Couple shots fired here and there during the whole cheating debacle bullshit, but you know, we've always had a pretty cool relationship.
Yeah, I mean, when I picked you guys for last week, that was more out of a joke, and it was for more when your old leader was there and the whole thing, with the coalition thing or whatever. But I was messing around trying to stir the pot, just being funny. But,
oh no, it makes for good good media.
But both of you were like, dude, like that's long gone. We don't care.
So
how was that initial? Because I see that you guys capped mid first. How was that initial fight for mid?
Well, I think we're based off Snow's report. He says because they had to fight uphill, which I kind of get in a way. But I mean, we hit mid and we hit it hard, man. And we had our garrison network up like bam. We were fucking on it, dude. I don't know how exactly how to say why they didn't cap third first. We just ended up capping third first. I don't know if it was just a good old fight for third or what it was, but we were able to catch it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So we're going to move on. I'll be able to speak to this one because I played in it. 21st versus 6th. We got 5-0'd in 40-ish minutes. We played on Carrington Night. Midpoint was Town Center. The 6th deserve the respect that they get. There's a reason why they've won every single tournament they've been in so far. The 21st has a very good initial push to mid strategy, and we fought with them over mid for like 20 minutes. It seemed like it was like 15 or 20 minutes that the midpoint went uncapped. I mean, it was just a bloodbath. And, I mean, essentially, as simple as I can put it, as soon as they capped mid, we fell apart. It felt like we invested so much into attacking mid. Yes, I'm part of the 6th now, Elemento. I'll get to that if you guys want me to. But anyway... and it's not because of this game, but anyway, yeah, so it was like a 20-minute fight over mid. It was nuts, especially fighting over Town Center in the nighttime. And like I said, once they capped mid, it seemed like everything just kind of fell apart because we invested so much into trying to take it from them because we knew, especially Town Center, we knew our best chance to beat the 6th was to take that point first. And then literally our plan pretty much was take it and hold it for 90 minutes. And I mean, once we didn't get it, they were able to establish map control. We had to fall back pretty hard. We weren't like getting back capped or anything, so it wasn't like, we were running back like a chick with our heads cut off, but it was, we knew that now we were, put on our heels, and it's very hard to recover against a team like that and take Town Center of all places from, a team like that. So it was tough, but still being able to hold off for 40 minutes, I think was good.
Yeah, I mean, the 6, man, I mean, what can you say? Malarkey is building a fucking juggernaut over there, man. I give him a lot of credit.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we took a step back with you, but other than that, they're doing pretty good. But we played them too, and I think we lasted a little longer than that on top of when I was there. And it's just, they're slow. When we played them, this is a while ago. I don't know if they were like this when you played them, Winters, but they were slow and methodical, and like, you thought like, wow, this isn't that, like, this isn't going to be that hard. And then all of a sudden, you lose. And it's like, what the fuck just happened right now?
Yeah.
Like, we had third point for a while. And I remember we played Drill, which, does stink. I think we were the Germans, though. And all of a sudden, it was just like, they cap third. Then they get pressure out. Then it's the fourth. And then that falls. And then it's like, okay, well, let's reestablish. And then next thing you know, the game's over. It's like, what the fuck just happened? So, I mean, that was before Summit. So I don't know how they've progressed since then. I haven't played them, but man, they are just they are unbelievable, man.
Yeah, their armor is very good. It's the same with their infantry. Their map control is their skill at map control.
Yes.
Reminds me, and like their garrison placement reminds me a lot of Apache Garrison in the way that he is able to orchestrate his map control with WRTV. Yeah. It's just superior, and that's why they're the best right now, in my opinion. I mean, they beat the 7th, so obviously, they're a major fucking force in the comp scene right now.
Yeah, you hit it on the head. Shout out Apache Garrison, I love you, buddy. But yeah, they're and I've played Ross a bunch of times. We scrim them a bunch, and I thought they had good map control, but it's just any route you would try to go. They almost like let us take third, and then they set up their whole like, okay, we're just gonna do what we're gonna do, and we're waiting, and then next thing you know, it's you're done.
Yeah. So the last match of week 1 was 3-5s versus first. This was surprising to me, not in necessarily who won, but the style in which they won. So 3-5 beat first, Carentan Knight again. The first captured mid and held it for 80 minutes. So I guess, I mean, I don't have anyone obviously from the first on here or 3-5s to kind of explain, but I don't know if the first tried doing the same thing that you guys tried doing 24, or if they just got overwhelmed at mid or what, but losing mid with 10 minutes left is a real kick to the nuts.
That's tough. That's tough.
Oh my God.
When I seen their results, I thought, fuck, man, something happened, something similar like what we had happened to them, I guarantee it.
Yeah, looking back on, I should have asked Gentle or somebody from the first, like, what happened in that game. Adrenaline, were you able to find out anything from asking them how that game went?
Not really. I probably should have asked more questions on that as well too. I was more just kind of asking, like, what was. It just seems like it was kind of like a slugfest back and forth. I got the first questions a little late because there was some stuff that was going on with them. So I probably could have asked them what caused that to lose it with 10 minutes left. But from what I could gather, it's just it sounds like something definitely. From the fallout afterwards too, something definitely happened that caused it. But man, that's a heartbreaker of that.
Yeah. So we'll go to now week 2 outlooks. So we have 3-5s versus 4 AD. I think 3-5 is going to take it. This isn't, this is not obviously putting down any of the teams in my personal picks. I just think 3-5 is quickly becoming one of the top teams. I've been a fan of them, and I told Gentle this, and I'll always say this. I've been a fan of 3-5 since they started. We played them in one of their first ever comp matches, and although we beat them on, I think it was Purple Heart Lane, I knew that they had something special, and playing against 4AD, obviously it's depending on the map. Some teams have a natural advantage depending on the map and what side you're playing as, but I think 3-5 is going to take it against 4AD.
Yeah, I mean, I just piggyback off of what you said about 3-5, man. I got nothing but love for those guys over there. Gentle's awesome. I'm going to go with 3-5 too, and the main reason I'm going to go with 3-5 is because they lost last match. If 4AD lost, I would probably pick 4AD now, but I can't imagine Gentle and War Daddy and those boys are not going to be fucking prepared for everything and just come out like we gotta bench this. Now, if 4AD had lost, I'd be going the other way because they play each other very well. I know they scrim a lot, but I'm with you. I think 3-5 is going to be up at the top this league, and I think they're going to take it this week too.
Yeah. So before I ask you that same question, TaskForce and 24, who you guys think is going to win that game, for the guys in the chat, also answer these questions with us. Who you guys think is going to pull out the win between all these matchups that we're going to list? I'm curious to see what you guys have to say. But TaskForce, who do you think is going to take it? 3-5s or 4AD?
I think either way, it's going to be a grind. I think both of them have a lot of combat capability, at least from the first week showings. But I just know more of the 3-5 guys, so I'm going to vote for them, I think.
Yeah, what about you, 24? What do you think?
That's a hard toss-up, man, because both those guys both those clans are really good, and man, it's just hard to say, but I'm going to rock with 4AD. I hope they pull it out, man. It'll be a nice win for them. Sorry, Gentle, but I'm just kind of, I hate to say it, you could call it the overdog, the underdog. 4AD, I think, is coming in as maybe the underdog. I don't want to call it that way, like they're no good, because they are a good clan, but I kind of feel like they are the underdog, and it's always good to see the underdog pull it off.
Yeah, we're getting some of the answers are starting to come in, so I appreciate you guys in the chat following along with us. But we're getting some back and forth answers. Some people are Team 4AD, some people are 3-5. Someone from 4AD is actually in the chat right now and said that they adapt very quickly. So he thinks that their ability to adapt is going to take it. Someone from SOB is in here saying I'm SOB, played with 508 and went 4AD, and now they're back with SOB. People are saying it's going to be a good game, and then 4AD has it in the bag. They've been working pretty hard. So I definitely think it's going to be one of the matchups to look out for. Go ahead, Adrenaline.
Oh,
Looked like you're going to say something.
I mean, based off the results from last week, I mean, aside from the 6th, it's pretty even matched. So, I mean, anyone that we're picking here, it's really just like I said, I just think with the momentum from that tough loss that Gentle talked about, they're going to be motivated. But it's great to see that the competition really is. I mean, they're all 3-2 except the 6th match. So it's good to see that.
So moving on to the next one, we got the first against 5ID. Selfishly, I'm going to take the first because I don't know much about 5ID, being completely real. It's hard for me to kind of speak on 5ID, so I'm going to go with the first.
So I'm going to go with 5ID. I know there was I know they settled down, and I'm not going to go into what happened because I don't know, but I know there was just some stuff that happened and some people left first afterwards. I know that sometimes that could be hard to refocus after that happens, and now they might have new guys in positions. I'm not sure. So with that going on, and what happened there, I think 5ID, they had a hell of a match against 4AD. And I think they're going to just roll that into against first, but that's just kind of where I see it at.
Yeah. What do you guys think? TaskForce, you can go first.
I think that I think I'm gonna go for I just because I like a good underdog. Just like I think for Berserk when we first started, we definitely weren't put up to win anything, and I think our first 2 games was definitely a show out. So I'm gonna go for ID on this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll probably rock the same, man. I don't know too much about either clan, so.
Mm-hmm. People are saying, so this is going back to the 3-5s of 4AD. Someone said 3-5s are older brother, like 24 said, as 4AD are to them. It'll be a good match regardless. Someone else, and then the next 2 comments was people taking the first to win. Moving on, we got the 6th versus the 8th. I'm taking the 6th. I think they're definitely the team to beat. And, I can't diss my new group, so...
It's obligated. I get it. It's sponsoring. I understand.
Yeah.
So once we finish these week 2s, I'll go into a little bit about how I ended up with the 6th, but without.
I do have a very good question for us to wrap up on that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So yeah, I'm taking the 6th, and I mean you guys can give your input, but I don't foresee a different answer.
Listen, I love my Aussie brothers, Rofs. Those are my boys. I love 6. Malarkey is awesome, and Maxwell down there. I gotta roll with Snow, man. I'm gonna go with the underdog on this. I think Snow's gonna upset someone. I mean, the 7th never lost until like this past year or whatever. So I think eventually it's gonna happen, and I think that the 8th might have. I think that they got the skill and the wherewithal to pull it off. So
yeah, and I guess I'll clarify. I'll clarify with my answer, like that I am not at all, even though it definitely sounds like I am, and I mean I guess I kind of am because I'm like you said sponsoring, but the eighth is a very good team, so it is a very good possibility that they upset a team. I don't foresee it being the 6th. But it's not like, the 8th is just going to roll over. I don't think it's going to be a 5-0 in 10 minutes or anything like that. Like, when you're a team like the 6th, the 7th, Rofs, WRTB, HLLE, teams like that, you have a target on your back and teams are gunning for you because they want to be the ones that people are talking about in TPL chat and Summit chat, TFL, everyone wants to be the team that beats the best. So, they're going to be bringing their A game, and I mean, it very well may happen, but I don't foresee it happening this week.
I haven't engaged a lot with 6th, but I've played with some 8th guys and watching them play and stuff. Again, I watch the streams. They're pretty cool headed, especially in command chat and stuff like that. You don't see a lot of craziness going on, and I do think that cool headedness is definitely going to help them hopefully continue to win.
Yeah, people are saying the 6th versus the 8th is going to be a coin toss.
Yeah, I think I'm going to rock with the 8th, man. I want to see him pull it off.
Yeah,
keep that camaraderie going, man. I think they could do it.
I mean, the big thing that they did, I don't know how familiar you guys are, but like when I mentioned about 5ID, Girth Brooks from 5ID, who is one of the best tankers around that I've personally played with, went there, and that kind of I thought that really kind of solidified them over there too now. So with Girth rocking that tank and Doc on running the offense and Snow, they're formidable. It's going to be a hell of a match. I'm just going with 8th. I want to throw a little monkey wrench in there, but hopefully I know Snow will probably stream it, so I do want to watch it.
Yeah. All right, 24. So this one's going to be for you. Your group against the 21st. How are you guys, as a whole, how are you guys feeling about rolling into that game tomorrow night?
We're feeling real confident, man. We've been trying some new tactics out and been hitting the training hard. Sign-ups look great, man. We're going to for sure bring a full 50. We don't need no help, which is, for you guys that don't know, it's kind of new to us because this is like one of the first times. TPL, we struggled to bring the numbers, TPL Light, TPL. Now that we're in the Freedom League, we have to pull 50. You know, the minimum's 40, but we want to pull 50 for each match, and we're looking good. We have a bye week in the Winners League or the Summer League, so our schedule's nice and open, so the guys aren't going to get burnt out or nothing. But we're going in there confident, man. Heads held high, fucking ready to rock, brother. I think we're going to pull it out.
That's awesome. So that's wrapping up week 2. I think I'm going to take 101 against the 21st as well. I think, you guys have definitely been screaming the right people, employing the right tactics, and obviously you guys showed out in week 1 regardless of the outcome. Holding it, for an hour and 13 against the 8th, I think just proves the force that you guys are. And, I mean, you were humble enough to admit it yourself as commander, taking the blame for that loss. I think the loss wasn't because you guys were outgunned or outskilled. It was just a misstep as commander that anyone has made. I've made that same mistake too, telling too many people to deploy on an airhead or, something like that. So, I mean, it happens to everybody. But, I mean, I think that says a lot about, who you are as a person, as, a commander and everything, to take the weight of that loss in week 1 of a new league is definitely, like, you always want to start a new league on a win, on the right foot, but taking the weight of that loss and not blaming anybody else, I think definitely says a lot about, who you are. And I think that's probably why a lot of people respect you, like, throughout the comp scene.
Right on, brother.
Yeah, I mean, 2-4, between you and Norwood, man, you guys are running a great machine there. I am going to go with the 21st. You can use that as bulletin material. I do, I love you, 2-4. But the main reason is they have some veterans there, man. They've been around since the beginning. I think that they'll be able to rebound from that loss. And I think you will too. And it's going to be a slugfest. But I could, they won. I mean, people forget they won Summit season 1. So, I know it's been brought up, but they know what to do. But I think you're going to give them a hell of a fight. But I think 21st might sneak it out.
Right on.
Yeah. I know it's going to be a huge boost to their confidence if they are. So going into that, how I ended up with the 6th, I'm not going to go too far into the details of why I left. I'm not here to cause drama or piss off some of my friends that are still over in the 21st, but I mean, it's the same thing that has happened almost every group that's had, a small group of people or, the 1s and 2s that leave. It was just a disagreement. That's really all it was. It was a disagreement that I had with some of the things that upper command was doing. And, I have all the respect for the people in senior command of the 21st, like Sniv and Reaper, Viper, all those people. So it's not like, I left on bad terms or anything like that. But how I ended up with the 6th was actually because of having Malarkey here on the podcast last week. I reached out to him it was either I reached out to him or he reached out to me, to be on it. I can't remember which one it was, but anyway, similar to what I did with you guys having the group chat, we just stayed in contact before and after the podcast, and we built up a pretty good friendship. Still early on in that friendship, but friendship regardless. And when I decided to leave the 21st, he was the first person I reached out to. I got some messages from some other groups to join, and I also got a lot of messages saying, like, you're American, what are you doing joining an Australian group? Like, how's that going to work? And
I said that. I did ask you that.
Yeah, and you were definitely not the only. So, oddly enough, at least for me personally, joining an Australian group works for me. Because, I'm sure you guys have all dealt with the same thing. I work a full-time job and have a 1.5-year-old son. And when, I get off work, he's old enough now to where he wants to hang out with me, he wants to play with me and everything. So TFL is a little bit different because they schedule the games later in the night, but TPL and Summit, I mean, you could have a game at 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon on a Saturday, and then you have to work your weekend plans with your family around a comp game, or you just don't go at all. So it's different when you're new to the group, but like when you're, like TwentyFour is, being commander, sometimes your team necessarily can't afford for you to not be there. And then you're like, well, sorry, honey, we can't take the kids to, the zoo or the park or something because I have a comp game at 4 o'clock. And to me, it was like, I can't play those games because my son is like all over me. And it's just driving my wife absolutely nuts. So I try to help her as much as I can. So I guess what I'm getting at is with being on an Australian team, the majority of their events that they schedule starts at like 9 or 10 p.m. my time, which is perfect because my son's already asleep. So it works when it's comp games. The only time that I've noticed it doesn't work is like when they're just playing together, shooting the shit in like a blueberry lobby. Their prime time is like 4 o'clock in the morning for me, or 5 o'clock in the morning. But comp game wise, it works perfect. But they've been nothing but nice to me. I wasn't the only 21st member to join the 6th, but they've been nothing but receptive, and so far from what I've seen, they're a great group of dudes. So, I couldn't be happier with the transition that I've made and the group of guys that I ended up with.
Yeah, and I mean, and I said it to you on the side as well. I mean, the one that Malarkey is an absolute animal when it comes to the Hell Let Loose comp scene and getting it out there. I think it's a great transition too for what you're trying to do with the podcast and everything. He's hardcore on getting it out there and everything, so there'll probably some resources that'll make this even bigger. So that's great, man, too.
Yeah, Malarkey's a great dude, and that's honestly one of the biggest benefits that I've seen since I started this podcast like 3 weeks ago. Is my goal in doing this was for the community and like bringing people together and putting faces to names. Like if I didn't do this, I never would have talked to TaskForce. I never would have talked to TwentyFour. I never would have talked to you, Adrenaline. So like doing this has expanded like my circle, I guess, to where now I'm friends with people in different groups from all over the world. And, for the longest time, I was only talking to people within the 21st, but now, I'm, talking to you guys, and I've talked to 3-5s, I've talked to 4AD. Like, it's been an awesome experience for me so far, and so far the reception has been really positive, and, I'm glad that you guys gave it a chance and, with no hesitation agreed to be here.
All right. I'd like to touch on something real quick.
Yeah, go ahead, absolutely.
So number one, for a lot of us, this is the first time that our clans are seeing our faces as well. Because for me, not so much, but for some of you guys, it might be. We have a family hobby. I posted pictures of myself, but the newer guys that came in might not have seen it, so now they could put a face to the name. And I want to say one thing about clans, man, and I don't know if your guys' is the same as mine, but we have like a family, man. I treat all our guys, we're like family, dude. Whether you're going through something in life or fucking something's bothering you, man, we sit down, we could talk about it. You could seek in certain guys that you feel comfortable with. We had a couple guys that were down and out on their luck, man. And, we put together a GoFundMe or one of the guys just collects some money and we get them what they need from a hotel room, or if it's a Xbox or a PlayStation or a new headset. And believe me, we bought guys systems, bro. And we come together as a community, man. And all those dudes in the 101, every single one of them, man, they all fucking contribute in a certain way. And one guy's a jokester, the other guy's a computer geek, the other one fucking knows electrical. We had a guy guide one of our guys on how to hook up electrical in his house. There's so much that could we could all gain. And man, it really is a fucking family here at the 101. That's for damn sure.
Yeah, I will say my absolute best experiences in the 21st and why I have so much love and respect for that group was kind of like what you were saying with the GoFundMe. I won't put his name out there, but we had a member in the 21st get diagnosed with a pretty rare type of cancer, and I started a donations and giveaway page in the 21st, and we were just pooling money in a Venmo account that I owned, but I made it completely transparent. So people knew I wasn't just, fucking stealing their money or something. But we were able to raise a couple $100 in there. And originally what I was going to do was, it was around Christmas time. I was having a console skin made on Skin It. And what I was going to do was buy like 15 console skins in bulk, and I put a bunch of people's names like on a wheel on some stupid website, and spun the wheel, picked their names. I was going to have a skin made for them. Well, Skin It fisted me, and it's completely screwed up the order like 4 times. I was like, you know what, I'm not dealing with this. So we had a couple $100, still pooled. And when we found out that the guy had cancer, and he reached out to me and gave me his GoFundMe, we donated all the money to his cancer research. And he told me that one of the things that he desperately needed was to find a match for it was like stem cell research or something, and gave us the link to where you could actually sign up to get like a testing kit to see if we were a match. And dude, I can't even tell you how many people within the 21st reached out to get these kits to see if any of them were matches, and he ended up finding one, finding a match to get, I think, like their bone marrow or something out of their spine or some shit. But the last that I heard, he was able to meet up with the person that he matched with, and so far it sounds like his cancer recovery is going pretty solid.
Man, that's solid, brother. That's awesome.
Story, dude. That's
yeah. And then last thing I have about the whole community and everything was Twiggy, I think is in the chat. I was bitching one night about stick drift, and next thing I know, I have $75 or whatever Venmoed to me, and he's like, "Stop being stupid and go buy yourself another controller." I'm like, "Oh shit, okay." And then I was a dumbass and got a speeding ticket and had to go to court for it. And I'm like, dude, I've watched Suits and I've watched CSI or whatever, so I'm sure I could body this judge in court or whatever. But no, I had to get a lawyer, but I couldn't afford one, so I had someone from the 21st actually help me pay for a lawyer, which was big. But so Adrena, it looked like before I kind of stole your thunder, you were getting ready to say something about the whole family aspect of this game.
Well, I mean, just to piggyback off what you guys were saying, I mean, that was part of the hardest. I mean, and I said this last time. I don't want to sound like a broken record, but leaving the 508 was that whole atmosphere of the community. But the guys that are here at SOB now, I mean, the vibes and the environment that we're building is one that wasn't even over there. That I feel like. I mean, I make a joke with my XL Rabbit that if I don't hear from him by 10 o'clock my time, are we in a fight or is everything okay or whatever, because we text and talk so much. But yeah, man, I'm like you, Winners. I got a kid, I got personal stuff going on, so I don't really have too much of a social life, being 37 as well too. But this is it. This is the family that I have and I chose, and I wouldn't have it any other way, to be honest, man. And I can vouch for that stuff too. Going through tough situations and people there for you. So it's a great thing.
Yeah, I'm just responding to, yes, I did have to get a lawyer for a speeding ticket, Chad, okay? I asked the cop when I got it if I could just pay the fine, but no, I was going too far over, and I was facing like,
You're going pretty fast, man.
yeah, I was facing like a reckless driving charge or some shit. It was the like I want to get to TaskForce on like the whole family aspect of Berserk. And then if you want me to, I can get into why I was going so damn fast to face a fucking reckless driving charge. It was so stupid, bro. Oh my god, it was so dumb.
I will say that like I said, Berserk's not the first clan I was ever in, but a lot of the guys that started Berserk were in the other clan that I was in, so I kind of went with them, and mostly because I was friends with them. But I would say the family aspect definitely is huge. The communities that we build in general, I think on things is an amazing opportunity. I love playing with guys from all of the clans. I'm friends with people, and so many different clans and stuff. And you really get an opportunity to meet new people. I guess from personal experiences, I had to take a break like last August, like I said. I was asked to go to Ukraine and do some support stuff over there, and so I was over there for about 8 months, and every time I was able to get cell service, I had messages on Discord, or I gave a couple guys my numbers. They're always checking up on me. They're always making sure I was alive and good, and ever asking me if I needed anything and stuff like that. So those guys are, I mean, you really get to know these humans in a different way. And like 24 was saying, usually you don't even know what they look like. But these people are still willing to go out of their way to do stuff to help you. I mean, we've had people in the clan that needed help for their kids to go play sports, and we just donated money. And I think I bought $200 worth of Girl Scout cookies because somebody said like they needed this goal, and I was like, man, I like Girl Scout cookies. That sounds good. And so you just had these moments. You just had these moments, man, where you just if you got it, and you care about these people, you try. And I think this is it's a big thing. And I mean, my daughter actually, I have a 3-year-old, and her entire growing up has been me playing comp hell at loose every Saturday, and so I think that she's like, when I turn the game on, she even gets excited and she'll run in there and like look at the TV because she knows that I'm going to play hell at loose. So I don't know if that's a sad thing or an exciting thing, but you really do make friends with these people, and sometimes I spend more time with people from the community than I think I do even people in real life sometimes, and it's just awesome to have a support group of humans, like I said, you don't really know, but are willing to do what they got to do to support you and your family, and everybody kind of comes together, especially stuff like this, man. Like, you got 3-4 individuals here that probably never talked. I mean, I know some people have, but you just start learning about each other, and you get to know other humans and life stories and experiences, and you can learn from those too, from examples. And we're all older guys, so we've all lived a lot of those experiences already, but always got younger guys that you can teach, and there's always things you can learn from.
Yeah. Real quick, going through some of the things that the chat's saying. 24, do you know somebody named Justin?
Probably not. That's probably not their T17 name or not their clan name. But...
Well, anyway, someone named Justin said, "What's up, brother?" to you. Someone else said, "24 looks like a statue. Dude ain't moving." Someone said 101A equals family. Someone earlier said something to you, 24. They were asking you where something was. I'm scrolling back through the chat to try to find it. It was towards the beginning. But until I find this, I'll just go into real quick why my speeding ticket was, hey, you got to go to court. Long story short, I was coming home. I used to travel for work, and I was working in Virginia. I live in North Carolina, so I was working in Virginia. I was driving home, and it was stupidest fucking thing ever. So I'm driving on the highway. I'm driving down this hill. And at the top of the hill, the speed limit was 70. At the bottom of the hill, the speed limit was 70. Little did I fucking know that halfway down the hill, the speed limit dropped to like 55. So I'm in the far left lane, and I have an 18-wheeler on my right side. So I'm going like 75, maybe 75 or 80, just trying to keep up with, the flow of traffic, whatever. And got halfway down the hill, and the 18-wheeler to my right is blocking the speed limit sign where it said it dropped down to 55. And I think I started to pass the 18-wheeler, and I see on my right-hand side North Carolina State Trooper right next to that speed limit sign. And as soon as I passed him, I see him fucking get in the car. I see him turn the car on. And I'm like, well, fuck. And then I see him pull out. He pulls out behind me. And by the time my car came to a stop, I'm back in the 70 mile an hour zone. He comes up. He's like, dude, do you know how fast you were going? And I'm like, I don't know. I don't know. Just fuck me and get it over with. Like, what do you want from me? And he was like, you were going 75 and a 55. And I'm like, well, shit. And then, you know, led to a ticket. And then he was like, you know, just go to the website on the ticket and see if you can just pay your fine and get it over with. So I was like, all right, cool. Go to the website, and I look at the charges that this fucking asshole wrote, and it was like reckless driving, speed limit over 20 miles an hour. You can't pay the fine online. Your court date's in like 2 months. And I'm like, well, I'm fucked. I'm a felon now. Like, I'm going straight to cell block 1 to go meet Requise, and they're going to ask me what I'm in for. They're in for, like, murder or something, and I'm in for, you know, I drove a little too fast. So I hit up a lawyer, and I'm like, please, I don't want to go to jail. And
I'm too pretty.
Yeah, dude.
That sucks.
Yeah, dude, I'm too sweet to go to jail. I'm going to end up, like, holding someone's pocket or some shit there, dude. Like, yeah, dude.
Hold
like,
my pocket.
Yeah, they're gonna like make me lick my lips and rub like Kool-Aid on it to like make me sweet or some shit. So I hit this lawyer up and I'm like, bro, please get me out of this. And they did. They ended up reducing my ticket down to like improper equipment or faulty equipment or some shit, and I didn't even pay a fine. All I had to do was just pay the lawyer fee.
Oh, nice. That's what's up.
Still trying to find what this person said. Adrenaline, what was that question you were gonna ask? Because we're like an hour and 11 minutes into this.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It might be a hot topic, so I don't know if we want to pop the can on this yet. But so, I mean, I'll just ask it, and we can just have a quick little combo.
Yeah.
So the one area. So I've been talking to Werewolf for 4AD. I have a great relationship with him, and one of the things we were talking about the other day that he told me to bring up, and it's a good question. Is so the only concern that I have at the hell like our comp scene is, and again, I love all the clans, 7th, I have no issues with, but it seems to be when somebody leaves a community or a group of guys do, they're going to obviously like the 7th or Merc or like the higher communities. I mean, I could see that in the long run ending up hurting the community, because eventually they're just going to be playing against each other because the littler clans are, you know, they can't get it going. It's like, oh, well, I'll just jump on, you know, one of the higher up ones, and, you know, eventually I could see the competition kind of dwindling down. That's, you know, we were talking about that. That's just one of the areas that I think that I mean, there's nothing we can do about it, and I mean, it's no clan's fault. It's you know, people want to win. I totally get it, but it was a point he brought up, and I thought it was a pretty valid one that I've thought strongly about too as well. So I just wanted to see if anyone had any opinions on
I don't think that, honestly, I've been thinking about that myself because I was talking to Winters about it earlier. It seems to be there's always somebody going somewhere, somebody switching from here to there, or a clan breaks up, or a clan absolves this clan, or there's always this kind of stuff going on. And I think that, in a way, it's kind of healthy because then you do get these breakoffs where you can build a new clan and you got all these good players that know what they're doing already. You're not really having to start from the ground up, but you're just kind of create the community from the ground up. But, like, I mean, if you want to ride coattails and join 7th, sure, but they've got plenty of people, and you getting a chance to play, I'm sure, is going to be hard to do. And so if a good player is somewhere and they don't think they're being heard, they're going to leave, and they're going to find somewhere else to go and be a part of a different community where maybe they'll get that opportunity to shine. And
yeah, I think I think kind of like what you were saying, TaskForce. I think what a lot of these people I think at the time it's more so just riding the coattails and maybe not really thinking about it. But like you were saying, established teams like the 7th and stuff like that, like they have typically they're set 50. So you could have 15 people from a group break off and join the 7th. That doesn't mean that you're going to see them on the comp team. So really not much is going to change. And Malarkey made that very clear before I even joined the sixth, he hopped in a call with me and explained like the whole rundown of the sixth and the group and everything. And that was the first thing he said to me was that your comp spot's not guaranteed, and it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be guaranteed for anybody that joins these teams because each team has their own play style and they have their set 50 who has earned and continued to prove why they're there. So, you know, it was mad respect to Malarkey saying like, hey, just because you're coming here doesn't mean you're going to play. And that made me, you know, excited and kind of reignited the fire that I had in the game because now if I want to be a part of the best, I have to outperform the best, which is only going to make it, you know, that much more fun. And I think that's why some of these teams are really good is, you know, you have to prove that you're worthy of the comp spot.
Got to work that depth chart.
Great points. Great points.
But I do think if you wanted to go to a clan and not, I mean, if you, let's say, for instance, you're running it or if you're higher up, sometimes it's good to kind of get out of that and just go play. But I do think that if you're in a clan and you've been in it for a long time, you join a new one, I mean, you're starting back from the ground floor most times, unless there's like an absorption or a merger, and then both clans are amenable, you know, and they kind of, you got a few people here or there that have officer roles or not. But I do think there's a lot to it, to just the health of the sport, that there are people that are moving around. You know, any major sport in the world that happens constantly, so it's not necessarily a terrible thing.
The one thing I do think, which is a positive, is the Winter League and the TPL Light. I do think that really does help the smaller clans too as well, which I think has actually been kind of the backbone for the one. You know, like that's how we're going to be able to participate in probably BZRK this season too as well. So I think having those does provide that. You know, to be able to have the competition a little more too.
Yeah, yeah. All right, well, we're on an hour and 16 and a half minutes, so I'll go ahead and wrap it up. I just want to say, you know, I appreciate you guys all being here. I appreciate everyone in the chat. And, you know, looking forward to next week's episode. I'm really glad that I was able to, you know, meet TwentyFour and you, TaskForce. Adrenaline, always a pleasure having you on. But it's really nice to learn more about how Berserk is dealing with their rebuild process. I know you guys are going to get there sooner rather than later, being back into one of the top teams. And, you know, 24 for you at 101, people are saying in the chat that they give it a year before 101 is the best team there is. So,
definitely takes time, man. Definitely takes time.
You guys have already started off on the right foot, and what you're doing over there with 101 is extremely impressive, and I cannot wait to see how you guys perform throughout the rest of TFL.
Yeah, I gotta give my boy Wasted Brain Cell some credit. He's killing it over there in BZRK. It's great to see you guys sticking around and rebuilding.
Yeah, him and Cos. So Cos and I are both from Alabama. And that's how we kind of like become friends through the clan and stuff. So we always give each other crap. But it's definitely awesome to see the guys that are still here and us pushing. Like I said, I kind of was reading through Discord one day and I was like, what is happening? And then it just like because I still don't know at all what all happened for that whole thing to go down that went down. I'm still like I don't want to know. But I'm coming back. We're going to do this thing. So I think that it's an awesome opportunity for us, too, to kind of almost rebrand ourselves and kind of maybe get out of some of the old bad habits that we grew into and maybe, you know, make some good positive habits and learn from you guys and other clans and hopefully, you know, drive home that we can be still just as good as we've ever been. And I look forward to seeing you guys in the game. Maybe hopefully we can get together and do some sweat lobbies or something.
Yeah, absolutely.
Look forward to it.
But, all right, well, that's going to wrap it up for episode 3. Appreciate you guys all being here. If I can get you guys to stick around just for one more quick minute after we end this. But yeah, appreciate you guys all being here and look forward to next week's episode going over week 2 of TFL and whatever questions you guys submit. Appreciate you guys being here.
Right on, man.
Thanks, winners.
Yep.
Take it easy.
All right, we should be done here soon. Just trying to stop the recording. Hold on. Let me make sure it stops.
Oh, that's true.
All right. Well, I'll hit you guys up in the group chat. I don't know if it stopped yet. I think it's still trying to stop the recording, so I'm just gonna pull the plug on it altogether.
Oh, I was gonna ask 24. 24, who'd you vote for? You guys versus the other team?
I guess it's
Oh,
21st.
Oh man.
He's gonna hit us with a
101
curveball.
Forever 101, baby.
Later, boys. Have a good night, guys. Thanks.
Yeah.
Take it easy, guys.
Yep. See
All
ya.
right, y'all.
Am I still alive? I honestly have no idea. I hope I'm not still alive because this is gonna be. Oh yeah, something fucking went wrong. Yeah, go figure. I can't even end the call. Like, help, please, somebody.